the house we're in, it's too small, and we want to buy a piece of dirt or a lot, and we want to build a house, right? I've never had a home built by you or another builder or anything like that. I think there's a huge disconnect or a misconception with a lot of people when they think we want to build a house. The majority of people still think that you can build a house for like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not the case when you look at, basically logistics of trades coming from different parts of the Lower Mainland. When you look at the building costs, the material costs, all these kinds of things, you got to run into that all the time.
I run into it all the time, yeah.
Everyone's got a real estate story. Some are wins and some are total nightmares. We are here to give you the keys to what's really going on in Vancouver real estate, from what it actually takes to become a real estate agent to what it really costs to build a home, and all the stories in between. This is the real estate of things, where nothing is off the table and everything is negotiable. All right, well, here we go. My guest today is my good friend, Brian Rantz, general contractor here on the North Shore, and lives in the same neighborhood as me in Pemberton Heights. And I've known Brian for probably, I guess about 10 years or so here in the neighborhood. And he's been very gracious to come on today's podcast and be a part of this. And thanks for coming in today, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So what was the morning like today? What did you have going on?
I just visited a couple jobs, and then I'm building some stairs myself, actually, because I didn't have any guys for it.
Oh,
yeah.
How many stairs?
5.
Oh, okay. Did you start from the bottom?
I actually started from the top, believe it or not. It's it's a funny set of stairs. We started from the top.
Oh, man.
Doesn't sound right, but we did.
For those of people who don't know, and most people may or may not know, how long you been building houses, and how'd you get into it, and kind of what's your background?
Well, my dad actually started Rantz Construction in 1973. I kind of took over in 2000, fully took over, but he still did like the books and stuff, but
yeah,
not anymore. But I got into framing around, the last couple of years of high school, and I did that for 15 years before kind of taking over and starting to build my own houses for clients.
How many houses do you figure you've built, in Vancouver, would you say?
From scratch, probably maybe I'd say 30, but a ton of renos as well. Some of them are new houses in the end, but you can't call it a new house, I guess, but it's total jobs over 100 for sure.
And the framing, you started doing that, right? Like when you guys started the business?
Yeah, well, he had been at it a long time already because he started it when I was basically a baby. So yeah, I started when I was in my teens helping the framers strip forms and move lumber and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I got, the framers hired me. So then I used to build all the stairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
there you are building stairs still.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Very good.
Your dad started in 73. And what's funny is that when you and I, like, you've come along with clients, so I know we've looked at houses and stuff like that. And it will be, upper Delbrook or, Canyon Heights or something like that. You're like, oh, I think my dad built that house. And it's always interesting to see, like you said, he started in 73 and he's built a ton of houses before you. But I think that's pretty cool, like the lineage of the amount of houses you guys have done here on the North Shore and Vancouver too, obviously, right? Like different areas. And
there's a ton. We were in Whistler for a while too. That was fun. Furry Creek. So yeah, there's so many houses, and we've renoed some that we've built years ago, and then or I'll go there with the plumbers and they're like, hey, we plumbed this house. We just did one on Keith recently, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember doing the rough in here 25 years ago, and now we're renoing it. So it's kind of
that's cool though. That's really neat. The funny thing is, like in our industry, and you and I have had this conversation a ton, is that a lot of people they say, the house we're in, it's too small, and we want to buy a piece of dirt or a lot, and we want to build a house, right? I've never had a home built by you or another builder or anything like that. I think there's a huge disconnect or a misconception with a lot of people when they think we want to build a house, because I think the majority of people still think that you can build a house for like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely not the case when you look at, basically logistics of trades coming from different parts of the Lower Mainland. When you look at the building costs, the material costs, all these kinds of things. But you got to run into that all the time.
I run into it all the time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first house I built in 2000, it was a fixed price contract in Edgemont Village. It was $339,000.
$339,000.
Yep, fixed price. It's everything.
Everything.
Yeah, 3-story house.
Stairs?
Yeah, there was an extra actually there. There was my one little extra. I had to rip a set of stairs out and redo it for the client.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're still there actually.
And that was in 2000?
Yep.
That's not even that long ago. It was 25 years ago.
I know. Yeah.
If you were to, just off the top of your head, same exact house, same lot, if you started there today, what would something like that be roughly? I mean, probably.
Just put a 2 in front of it.
Just put a 2 in front of it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Really?
$2 million more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But do you find that, like, when you get called by, Bob and Sue and they say, hey, we got your name from so-and-so and we'd love you to quote on this house, do people kind of fall out of their kitchen chair when they get the estimates a lot?
Yes, they always do.
Yeah. And
Yep.
where does the majority of the money go, per se? Is it that materials have just gotten so crazy? I mean, labor, is increased with cost of living and everything like that. But where's most of the dough going?
Well, everything has gone up pretty much, but the district and city have added so many new rules on building envelope and energy requirements. Insulation has gone up so much because of their requirements for that outside insulation and just using lots of spray foam. And we're doing stormwater management for the city now. I mean, that could add $90,000 on some of these things.
So what is that exactly? Because you and I have talked about it and my eyes kind of glaze over, because it's kind of like putting a diaper on the basement of the house, and it pushes the water that would otherwise be pumped away on a sump pump system out to the storm sewer, but they don't want the water in the storm sewer. What goes on with that?
They send it to a retention tank first, and it's supposed to seep into the ground, back into the ground. It doesn't always work that way, though.
Yeah.
So there's an overflow on it, which they will then allow into the storm system. But they're thinking of going no basements now. There's some new rules that are going to be proposed where basements are gone and you're allowed to actually build higher.
So,
and closer to the street. There's some changes coming, apparently, in the next year or so.
So let's say a house costs, just for round figures, and it doesn't. Let's say a house costs $2 million to build today, with a basement dug out, with the water infiltration system and all this kind of stuff. Let's say they get rid of basements, and now you're building a 3-level home. And pardon what is likely a dumb question, but is your home going to go from a build cost of $2 million that would have had a basement to 1.6 because you don't have to do the digging? Like, I think there's still going to be like engineering and all these kinds of things that they're going to implement, that your house is probably going to still end up costing $2 million, but it's just going to be these tree fort looking houses that are way taller, right?
They'll be way taller, closer to the road. There should be some saving. Excavations are very expensive now, and groundwork. And so, I haven't actually done any of the numbers because it's not through yet, but I imagine there might be some savings.
Yeah. Interesting. Circling back to your dad started the business in 73, and then you came in and really picked up, like, when you started running Rantz Construction solo, around what time was that?
Around 2000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's cool for, I think, some people that don't understand is, you and I have been obviously really good friends, and you've renovated a ton of our house, which we absolutely love, even the room we're sitting in here. I think what's one of the coolest things about your company is a lot of the trades, the sub-trades that work with you. A lot of the guys and gals, they worked for you, and some of them even worked for your dad. It's always the same guys. And what I say to people when they're talking about having a home builder or renovations, things like that, is that a lot of the guys and girls that work for you, you'd have coffee with them, and it's very non-disruptive, and they're very polished, and they know right what they're doing. There's not a lot of this, the electrician's going to be there on Wednesday, and then he doesn't show, and we got a flat tire, and he might be there Thursday. There's far less, I think, of the bullshit. And I think the main reason is probably because, what your dad started and then you carried on with, and respecting them, paying them on time. And in turn, they show up on time and they're loyal to you guys too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Then they know each other. So, the electrician can talk to the plumber directly. And if I need something done quickly somewhere else, I get good service from them. They'll come do it. their pricing. So once in a while, I'll still kind of check, just, keep everybody honest. But I'm getting good pricing from these guys. None of them are the cheapest, but they're really good. So,
Who's your favorite subtrade?
oh, my favorite. I like Cassidy, my painter, a lot.
She's really good.
My plumber, I would say I like him, but he's also more old school because he's older. So they were used to doing lots of spec houses and things, and they get mad at designers here and there for some of the stuff. Ed, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's better. He's a little old senior. Yeah.
Senior.
Yeah.
The senior citizen.
He is a senior citizen. Yeah.
Yeah, senior citizen plumber. Huh? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. And like I said, we've always just been really happy. And it's one of those things, too, where you pay for what you get in terms of the quality and things like that. Because, going back to people thinking they can build a house for $1 million. Well, you absolutely cannot build a house for $1 million. But you can probably build a house for 1.5, but it's going to look like a cross-eyed pigeon or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get involved in those. I always tell people, because I'd rather spend my weekends hanging out with my family or friends than going over to fix something because they bought crappy stuff or you had crappy trades.
Yeah, totally. And it's it's a similar thing, I should say, with our, real estate pricing of when we get pulled in for a listing presentation and someone wants to sell their house and, say we see the value at $2 million and they make the comment and say, oh, we had another realtor and then they said we can get 2.6 or 2.5 million. I think that we always want to sell homes for the maximum amount of money, but at the same time, we're not in the business to, stack up listings. We want to make sure the home sells, and because if it sits there, the price reductions come and before long you'll end up selling for less than you thought you would have. And that's the same with talking budget. Another thing I've always said to people about your work is that the budget that you provide, it may be, higher than others, but what you're getting is obviously quality, the trades, on-time service, things like that. But you're more or less going to be on that budget unless the homeowner starts adding gold faucets and, this kind of stuff to the build, right?
Yeah, definitely. Very important to have a good budget going in, and it has to be realistic. I mean, I get prices on pretty much everything, so I can back it up. Sometimes people will try to find something that's cheaper, but usually, or something, there's a reason why it's, So I like to be on budget because I sleep better that way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There's obviously the build cost and all these kinds of things, but I think one of the things that some people think of, whether they built a house or they haven't, more than the case if they haven't, soft costs. What are soft costs, and what can people kind of expect if they're building a new build home on the North Shore in Greater Vancouver? Like, what are the soft costs? And
you need surveys, you need all the consultants, energy consultant, envelope consultant, you need engineers, structural engineer, geotech engineer, civil engineer for the stormwater and all of that. You need all the district costs, which can be very high. They've raised everything.
Yeah.
They can vary quite drastically. It could be $100,000 to get your services capped and put new ones put in, depending on how far away they are, how deep they are, how many other services they have to cross going across the street. There's a lot of soft costs. Your designer, your plans, your interior designer, insurance. It's a long list.
Yeah. And that's something, I think a lot of people don't think about, or maybe not most people, but some people don't realize that how much goes into that. The paperwork and planning side of things. It's not just the lumber and the tile and the roof kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of clients I've had, a lot of clients you've had, they have the conversation if they're in, say a little bungalow house or something like that, and they say, we're going to tear it down, we're going to build new, right? Or they say, should we renovate it? What are the benefits of each, and what are kind of the drawbacks of each in terms of a drastic reno on a house, which I know you've done several of, even here right in Permanent Heights for friends and clients of ours. But what are the benefits of doing a drastic reno as opposed to a new build?
So I guess with the new build, you're getting exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Or you should be. Everything's brand new. You have a warranty. We have done a lot of renos. Some of the requirements from the district are relaxed a little bit to do with envelope or energy and stormwater management sometimes, but now pretty much every reno has that as well. And of course, you usually have your structure already there, so you're going to be saving money, even though some of them have gone down to
pretty much nothing. There's nothing left but a chimney sometimes.
That's right. Yeah. So you're supposed to keep
Was it 20% or something like that?
it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the exact rules are. A few of them have gone a little bit, a little more has gone away than
It's crazy.
was. Yeah.
But you also get, like, if say you have a house and had a wood burning chimney, and the people say, we just love this, you want to keep it. Can't you keep that in a reno? Or do you have to convert it to gas? Or, I mean,
I'm not sure. I've never actually run into that. We just recently put a wood burner in though.
Yeah.
In a Renault wood burning stove
So
fire.
so you're still out though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope so.
Oh. Okay. So you give someone a budget. They say, you're going to build this house for us, Brian. How long does it take to build a house before you're putting your feet up and cracking your first beer on the couch on a Saturday afternoon? Day one to you're moved in. How long is it? That's a hard question to answer because there's so many variables, like size of the house and the finish and stuff. But let's call it a 3-level house that's 4,000 square feet with a detached 2-car garage. Sort of cookie cutter. Like, what kind of a timeline are you looking at for something like that?
I mean, I did my own house in 10 months. We moved out in January and moved back in December.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to pay too much rent. But usually, 12 to 14 months is pretty
standard.
Pretty standard, yeah.
But the delays that can come from that are obviously if there's changes in the design, if there's...
Changes are a killer. They take up time and money. Changes or not getting decisions made or not having a good, everything figured out beforehand. It can slow everything down.
What are some of the changes that you see? And what are some of like the wild ones that you've seen?
Just a complete different layout of the bathrooms and plumbing.
And they kind of get in there and they're like, I thought the toilet would be farther over. Or they thought, I'd have more counter space. Or what goes on there?
Yeah, or moving windows or changing out materials is one that can be a real pain in the neck when they see something up and it's not what they thought.
Because if you want to move a window, let's say it's from one side of the bathroom 4 feet over kind of thing, that has to then, like, what's the course of events with that?
Well, if it's done early, it shouldn't be too big a deal.
Let's say you're standing in there and it's,
at the end, you want to be moving a window.
No, not at the end. Yeah. But like, say you're roughed in, you haven't put the countertops in, you haven't put the shiny towel in. It's kind of like it's still framing, so to speak.
Then it's not
bad. Yeah.
It's better to get what you want, right? So if it's doable and, not a crazy number to switch it all out. And when you're ripping plumbing and electrical out, which we've done because of changes of the whole layout of the bathroom, then those costs actually add up pretty quickly.
And you touched on it, like kind of the soft costs earlier, engineers and planners and, all these different things. Interior designers, I think they add tremendous amount of value when it comes to the layout and the planning. And like our interior designer that we used here, Eric Winterfield, also a really good friend. And
she's awesome.
Yeah. And I didn't actually know or fully understand how and what they did, I guess, prior to kind of being in the industry and then also doing renovations here on a pretty big scale. I always thought that interior designers were picking the couch and the fabrics and the tile colors and the wall colors and things like that. But when, our interior designer got going on things, she had CAD drawings of all the cabinetry that you used for your, millwork subtrade and things like that. And it just allowed us to see a layout of the entire room or house, and that you go, okay, well, there's going to be enough room there for that couch, or this will work or that won't work. How important do you find having a good interior designer is to the process of a build or a renovation?
It's invaluable. I encourage everyone to get one. It makes our job so much easier.
Yeah.
And they catch things early on that don't need to get changed later. Moving a window, moving a wall, bathroom layout stuff like we were just talking about, making sure there's room for everything, room for furniture, and just having all their drawings. It makes it so much easier for the electricians, the plumbers, anyone who's in there doing work to get everything, where it has to be. Yeah. Heights, positions on the wall for everything. I encourage everyone to get one.
And when you say, and again, talking soft costs, and people are kind of going like, where can we save money and where can we, do things ourselves, let's say, kind of thing. I think some people think, what I had thought previously to being in the industry, where they say, oh, interior designer, like we can, pick our own tile and pick our own wall colors and things like that. But let's say an interior designer on a 4,000 square foot house costs, for round figures, I don't even want to put a value on it, but let's say it's 50 grand, and the people go, oh, 50 grand. But wouldn't you say that
worth every penny?
It's worth every penny, because when it comes to the coordination with you as the builder, you're not waiting on things are spec'd, things are organized, and then that's going to make your trades work far more efficiently and then pay back that value of, say, the 50 grand or whatever that interior designer is in the planning and preparation process, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you have to let them know your budget as well, if it's so that they can pick things within your budget.
Yeah.
I usually try to give pretty good budgets for them. Lighting is one that seems to always go over, so I'm allowing a lot more for that now.
Yeah.
Lighting, tile, and then plumbing fixtures are a big one. Everybody wants a steam shower. Everybody wants some really nice stuff. So
what's like the number one thing that people, on new build, or call it drastic rentals, what's like the number one thing that people are asking to put in their house? Like anything wild or like crazy?
I mean, everybody wants AC. A lot of people want a steam shower, lots of saunas now. Pantries. I mean, I didn't get one. I really wish I had one. A good media room. A lot of the guys love that.
Yeah.
You know what? It just varies. There's a hot button for every different client, it sounds. But yeah, I would say AC is a big one, especially now. I wish I could turn mine on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tina doesn't like it.
Someone will always have the doors open?
Yeah. She likes the door open and getting so hot.
No AC?
Once this year we turned it on.
What?
Yeah. It's not good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never really knew why the doors are always open.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. One thing that I would love to have in our backyard, but it's never going to happen, would be a pool. And I think most people love the idea of having a pool. And I think of Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Right.
Putting in a pool.
I mean, I think everyone does, but we're putting in a pool.
That's the gift that keeps on giving all year round.
What? I mean, again, it's kind of like building a house for $1 million. I think some people, or most people, still think that you can build a pool, and maybe you can, maybe it doesn't work after 2 years. But some people still think you can put a pool in the backyard for, say, $100,000. What goes on with a pool, and how much does it cost to put a pool in the backyard? Like, you're putting in one right now on the other side of our neighborhood. Like, what's involved with it, and why does it cost what it costs?
Their pools are expensive. You get the pool price, and it doesn't include excavation or gas work or electrical work or a pool house.
It's kind of like a boat, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't buy a boat if you can afford to buy the boat. Buy the boat if you have like 4 times the value of the boat, kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the bill for the pool is likely $150 to $240, depending on what you put in. If you tile the entire thing,
yeah,
that costs a lot more. If you want the automatic cover, that's another $15 to $20, and everybody wants all these options. So, a really nice in-ground pool on its own is, call it $140, and then add on all the options and you're up over $200, and then you got to put a pool deck around it. That's $200 for the pool guy. Yeah. And then all the other costs. Gas from the house, you got to get, build that pool house. Like I say, you need electrical, you need water, you need a sanitary drain, you need to fix the yard after you obliterate it as well. Yeah, and you got to dig a hole.
Yeah.
It's not cheap to dig a hole. 15 to 20 to dig a hole for an average size pool now.
No way.
Getting rid of dirt's not cheap. Yeah.
Where's the dirt go?
We usually put it in the ocean. No, we don't. It goes out to Maple Ridge or to Squamish. There's dumps in both spots. Or if someone needs dirt around North Van, you can get lucky and dump it at their house.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, no, I didn't realize how much a pool cost until, seeing it, because your best friend and client next door to you, you're doing one for him right now. And, once you see the process, and I love to come by there and poke my nose in the process, the amount of equipment and planning that goes into it, you're kind of going, I'm surprised sometimes that it doesn't cost more with the amount that goes into that thing, right?
There's a lot to it for sure.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. talking about, the plumbing fixtures and, the cost of lighting and, all these things that can be very expensive in the home building process. Have you seen, or, it's more your clients that you're building for and things like that. Have you seen the tariffs play a role yet? Like a dramatic fashion in terms of building materials, copper, all these things. Have you gone, holy shit, like that's gone up 30% or anything like that? Or what are you kind of seeing?
There's been price increases, so you have to try and investigate that a little bit.
For sure. I think any job, any industry has, hard parts of it. And I can think of what the ones are from me being a real estate agent. But what's probably the least favorite part you have about being a general contractor? So what's kind of the hardest thing where you just go, oh, and you get up in the morning, oh shit, I got to deal with this or something like that?
I mean, I don't like waiting for inspectors or them to come up with some silly stuff that.
But a window of time. Why not?
There's no
time.
Actually, the inspectors are pretty good. They'll usually phone me, which is actually I appreciate that. But yeah, there's a lot of inspections. There's engineers, consultants, and all. We spend a lot of time waiting and having meetings with those guys. I don't love that part.
What's your favorite part about it?
When the foundation's in and it's backfilled and you start framing.
I would have thought that it would have been, seeing your work, your plan, your craft kind of come together. I mean, you must love that too, but that's a different part of it, right?
It is fun at the end to see it all done.
Yeah.
And working out, right?
And you obviously have a lot of repeat clients, but I remember you telling me this story a couple of weeks ago, and you and I were sitting there and you were texting someone. I was like, oh, who are you texting? It was an elderly lady, I think you had built a house for a million years ago or something like that. And she was keeping you up to date on what was kind of going on in her life and all these kinds
She always texts me as she's lovely.
I just thought that was the coolest thing. Like I really did. And I came home and I told Sam about that. And I think it's just a testament of, people, like I say, going back to the Ferris thing and talking about this story of people enjoy the process with you and you have repeat clients because of, the work you're putting out. And I don't think that's true with everyone because you hear these horror stories in the industry too of like, oh, the house built and this is broken and this is this and this is that. But
yeah, I've heard them. Yeah.
But I think a big part of that is just you being upfront and honest with people and saying like, this is what it costs. It's going to be quality. And I stand behind it because like you said, on Saturday or Sunday when we're watching football and hanging out, you don't want your phone to ring and someone yelling at you going.
If it does though, I'm there to fix it for sure. So
yeah. No, it's good. So like I said, I think it's just a huge thing and a huge component that so many people who I know, clients, friends, are repeat clients. But you take care of them. Like I say, with that.
Definitely.
The little old lady, right?
Big 8,000 square foot house for her and her husband. Yeah.
8,000?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a bowling lane?
No bowling lane. Elevator for her though. Yeah.
Oh, it has its ups and downs having an elevator.
Has its ups and downs.
Just the crickets. Oh man, that's funny. If you weren't doing what you do now and you've been in it for a long time, what would you think would be another career?
I'd probably be a realtor.
Would you really?
I don't know, maybe.
Really? I think you'd be a great realtor.
I think it could be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could too.
Yeah.
It's more or less just putting out open house signs in the house sells.
I could do that. I'd put my own signs up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Like posts?
I think so. Probably hit a sprinkler line.
Yeah. I thought about getting some of those metal signs where you just stick them in the lawn myself.
You'd hit a sprinkler line.
Yeah. I'd have to call you.
Not good.
Oh, man. So going back to square one, Bob and Sue, let's call them, they buy a lot and, with me and Colin and, or whomever. And they call Brian Rantz Construction. They go, we're thinking about building a house. We want to get a budget. So you get a budget. Some people say, what do I have to hire a general contractor to oversee and run quarterback on this entire project for? Where do you add the value on this? Like on being a GC for a new home build? Or renovation of that?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Yeah, people do try to do it themselves. They've done it. I think one of the main ones is the home warranty.
Right.
So that's a big one.
Because do you not get one, obviously, like even if you pass all your inspections?
I think you can do a homeowner one. I don't know. There's some kind of, you can do it on your own. But
Wayne's warranties or something?
Yeah, right. But I think the biggest thing is just getting the trades when you want them and good trades, because there's horror stories of they're not going to be loyal to a one-time homeowner builder. They're going to be, loyal to the guys that use them over and over again. So they're not going to get the service that I would get. But yeah, I mean, if people want to try it, it's always entertaining to watch. But I think anyone that I've ever built for has realized that the value add is worth the money. So on timing too, just how quickly you can get it done is another one.
Yeah, the schedule, exactly, right?
And then not forgetting, inspections, or forgetting something along the way that should have been done, that then you're going backwards.
People who know you personally, they're going to use you, but the majority of your business is word of mouth, true referral. And the trades, like you say, if Bob and Sue building the house say, we're going to find a plumber, well, they're going to go on Google and they're going to find a plumber.
Yeah.
They're going to have a shiny web page, and they might be great.
They might be.
It might be, right?
Yeah.
Or they could be not great. A lot of your trades are kind of like ninjas. Like, they don't have websites either, and their business works alongside of yours, and they're just reliable. They're the best at what they do. And that's a huge component, just adding on what you said, of why people hire someone like yourself as a GC, because you have it dialed in, it's squared away. You have all these guys and girls ready to go, and it's a seamless process.
Yeah, and I don't share my trades, or I do with some people.
So the old man started in 73. You've been in it for a bajillion years too. Very experienced. There's a lot of things that you've seen time and time again. You see it coming, kind of thing. But what would you say is a mistake within the general contracting that maybe you made, minor or little thing, that just kind of stuck with you, or a major one or something like that? There's got to be some way, right?
I have a long list, and they always cost me money to fix, of course. But I remember one Friday night going home, and I was like, an order pizza. I was having a nice night, and then I thought, holy crap, I just tiled those 3 bathrooms. There was supposed to be floor heat below them. That one was awful. So I went to the job then. Yeah, that night, I went and ripped them all out. And I had to phone my tile guy and say, we need floor heat under these. They're all, anyways, it was.
Did you get the tiles up?
I got them up. They were before they said, I was able to go rip them out, but I remember that was awful. So that wasn't fun. The guy did 3 bathroom floors in a day. So I had I got them all out. Yeah. So that sucked. I mean, there's a lot. Mistakes happen. It doesn't matter how good anybody is. They're gonna happen, and
no, I know.
Yes, they have to be fixed. So yeah, there's a number. The tile one was good, but it turned out fine. We got the heat in the next week.
There we go.
Tile guy, I had to pay him twice though. But yeah,
feet are toasty.
Yeah.
Well, I think we mentioned it earlier, but I always like to give people a shout out and say, where can the people find you? You don't have an Instagram account. Where can the people find you? If they reach out to me, they'll reach out to you, kind of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll find you.
Well, find me.
This has not only been informative, but absolutely hilarious and fun. And I appreciate you coming on. This has been awesome,
no problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, in Vancouver real estate, nothing's off the table and everything's negotiable. Subscribe now to the Real Estate of Things wherever you get your podcasts.